What up, fish tank people? FishTankTV.com. Dawson's Fish Tanks bringing you yet another sick fish room from St. Louis. Chuck Bremer's house, folks. Place ridiculous. You know it's going to be a sick aquarium place when you see 1, 2, 3 300-gallon water retainers right when you walk in. So we'll go outside and show you the experiments. I love Chuck's style outside. Got a bunch of gadillas, got a bunch of livebearers out here. All kinds of cool little stuff. He was buying this in the auction last night. Got the setup like this. It's got a little overflow. Pumps back up with the old school mag drive in here. Hygrophila, angustifolia. Actually, I think that's it right here as well. Trickles on down. Guppy grass everywhere. Guppies all over the place. And I was out here screwing around. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is tight. I'm enjoying myself. I'm looking around. He's like, now why don't you come inside? So check this out. You roll inside here. Out is walkout basement. How great is the water change of this? But check this out, folks. Dun, 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 dun. There's the man right there talking to Gary. All right, boom. We turn in. I better shut the door. We turn in. This is a fish room. We're greeted by a 125. Then we go around the corner. Chuck, man, you had me at hello when I walked in. I couldn't believe it. Looking really sweet, man. So you're running it with a whole bunch of stuff. You said all your tanks are experiments.
There's probably an experiment going in every tank.
I love your style, man. All the plants, just I'm trying this and doing this and that. So I could have a long video with you, but what do you got going on, man? You got like dirt on top or dirt? What's the setup? Like you got dirt highlight on top?
In the tanks you're looking at right now, the ones top and bottom have got dirt under the gravel.
Okay.
I put about an inch of dirt on the bottom and then put about an inch, maybe a little over, of gravel on the top.
And what kind of dirt do you use?
I use the cheapest topsoil I can get at Home Depot or Lowe's or someplace like that. I want something that has got low nutrients in it because it's going to move into the water fairly quickly. It's all got a lot of compost in it, so it's going to have a lot of humus, and humus will turn into nitrogen over time. So I'm not too worried about that. I want it live. In other words, I want bacteria in it, so I don't heat it, mineralize it, I think some people call it.
Right.
I don't do that. I do have a flush of nutrients immediately. I get usually some algae growth, but over time then when that drops back and I don't get the water circulation in through the bottom, that'll mellow out. And it provides very good nutrients to the root system, enough in the top, and it grows plants fairly well. Now the top set of tanks, and you notice when you were looking at them from a distance, the top has got bright lights on it. It's got T5, very high outputs, 54 watts a bulb.
You're running what, 56K, something like that?
Yeah, pretty close to 56K. The bottom is T8s, which are only about 24 to 32 watts a bulb.
And I gotta show.
There's two of those.
I gotta show these because these are just wicked. Obviously the Cory pandas, but these red plecos. I'm trying to do some begging to bring some of these fry because he's got these real sweet ones. Give me the name on these again. They're
on the
reddish plecos.
The reddish ones are the super red ancestors of bristlenose.
God, those are cool.
And you notice the male that just went into the cave is he's a calico, but he's a red calico, so he's got a red base color.
Those are so sick.
So man, when he crosses with the others, then I'll get some calicos.
And that little
man, and I'll get some
baby in the back there going at it. I saw one up on the front of the glass.
And the aspidorus you see in there have been reproducing in the tank. You'll see a few small ones there in the fry.
Aspidorus.
That's the Cory like.
Yeah, but it's is it a Cory though, or is it a?
It's in that group.
Kind of similar, kind of like the what do they call Brocus or whatever, kind of a similar.
Yeah, the Aspidorus species are generally the smaller Cory type species. A lot of them are longer and more slender.
But a segment off, kind of like.
Yeah, it's a sub-tribe.
Okay. Oh, so cool. He's got
Cory's.
And he's got he didn't the top 20 species. I didn't mention the. I'm drawing a blank on it. Guppy grass. Hornwort.
This is hornwort here, which is Ceratophyllum demersum.
Okay.
There's another species out there which is probably found more often in the UK than around here, but it's Ceratophyllum submersum.
Okay.
Called soft hornwort. I'm looking for it, but I haven't found it yet. here. This is a plant. It's a hygrophila. Hygrophila augustifolia, also called willow leaf.
Is it a narrow variety or is it just a plain Jane variety? That's just the way it's growing.
It's pretty much a plain Jane variety. You can see that the leaves look like willows. It grows underwater, and if you let it go long enough, it will actually break through the top, and then it'll have similar. It'll grow immersed as well.
Okay. I want to show these.
Be re-rooted.
Some of these real quick down here. We've got the livebearers.
Yeah,
the good-looking swordtails, man.
Those are Zophophorus helleri, the melanistic type with the black spots.
Yeah.
But they're a wild type. It's not a domestic variety.
Really? What are those? A Mexican from, or where are those from?
Yes, it would be Central Mexico.
Okay. Yeah, those are hot.
Primarily.
Those are hot. Look at that orange on there. Are these wild caught?
No.
They're. Look at that orange on them though. Wow. Really sharp.
Yeah, you get a dominant male. They're nice.
You got a cool.
There's not a lot in that.
All right.
These two tanks on this side.
And then your Tanganyika tank. Oh, what you got?
Never mind. It's a Rotala you were talking about.
Rotala. It made the cut last night. Gave it to one of the beginners that showed up there. But we got the Tanganyikans right here. And then you've got the flat with the Brichardi, and then what's the one with the yellow tails?
Ciphochromis leptosoma, either called yellow flash or blue flash.
And then
see
why they're calling that?
The neat thing about that tank is set up as several communities. Over on the right hand side, I've got a community of Neolamprologus multifasciatus, the shell dweller. Okay, they will breed and reproduce in there and keep the colony going. If you look the Ciphochromis, there's the male up at top. They are an open water cichlid, so they will stay at the top and breed in the top.
Okay.
Then if you look, there's some Brichardi, the fairy cichlids. They will breed where the rocks kind of lean up against one another and create fairly large caves. And so they will keep a colony going there in this tank. And then if you look, some of the long, slender fish with the black markings
got them.
are Gelitochromis dickfeldi. They're long and slender, so they like long, slender tubes. And so they will find some of the long and slender openings between the rocks and create a different colony. So I've got about 4 species of fish, each that are able to partition their environment, and I can keep them coexisting and reproducing in one tank because they've each got their own habitat. That's what I like about Tanganyikans.
Yeah, they got their own spot, their own space.
And you notice there's a Synodontis, probably Lucipinus, there, and they will be reproducing in under the rocks too. So they'll keep going.
And I love the Lupe too. Do those ever do anything for you?
Those are a long, thin cave spawner or a narrow space.
And then above them we've got some sunfish. Or what are they?
Those would be native type sunfish. These didn't happen to come from Illinois, but these are orange spotted sunfish. They're one of the smaller sunfish species.
I've got a wild pond out of my in-laws' house. I'd love to put some sunfish in. I don't know if it gets fertilized.
That's a male bristlenose.
Look at that. And then we've got...
this is just a holding tank of some young Libidinochromis ceruleus or electric yellows and some Pseudotrophus debasoni.
And then it doesn't even stop, folks. It goes all the way around over here. I got a whole other thing. Oh, good little wheelchair too. You got to have the spot to sit and chill and look at the stuff. And then you have no dirt in these, or do I have it switched? Dirt at the bottom?
The bottom is dirt and high light, and the top is no dirt and low light.
Okay. Good looking crypts in there. The bronze, and you got a crown back there. Nice.
Yeah.
And then
it's growing pretty slowly, but they do that.
And then up here, we've got some really nice looking swordtails
of various types.
Do you keep those at a ratio of male to female, or do you not much matter because there's so many of them?
No, not really. If you notice the plants in this tank, see the yellow?
Right.
This would be Hygrophila deformis or water wisteria. Yellow like that, it's got a nutrient deficiency.
What do you think that is?
Possibly iron. It could be almost anything. Since it's yellow throughout the leaf, it's some slow moving nutrient. So I have yet to figure out exactly what it is, but when I get that corrected, then I'll be able to grow that a little better. Notice the algae in there. That means there's a nutrient imbalance as well.
Right. So. Very, very cool. The quarries down there look very well fed too, by the way. They look like they're well taken care of.
Yeah, the albinos were just added a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. And then over here, what are these little guys?
Well, these are Gerardinius falcata. They would be from Cuba.
Oh,
And there are a couple, I don't see them right now, Genencia linealata. My Genencia linealata are primarily in the other room. But there's a story behind this tank. The two species were put together because these produce smaller fry than the Genencia. So when the adults of the Genencia would have young, instead of chasing their own young, they would chase the young of this species, which allowed their young to survive.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Wow. And then what we got down here?
Lima vittata. It's a Cuban limia. And sometimes the male there will also have some orange.
And you got your sag. And what's this? This one we talked about it at Marsilia. Is that, what is that?
Yes, a Marsilia. That would be the dwarf four-leaf clover. This is a submerged form. It grows about an inch high or so. It's got runners that run under the soil. If it comes to the boggy area where it's above the surface, where the top can be above the surface of the water, it'll produce a little.
Oh, there's the name.
Clover.
Wow, I need to get my hand. That's a cool plant. Is that, looks like it's pretty? It doesn't need much light, right? It's got some good substrate.
There's actually a better one in this.
Wow, and he's got Vesuvius in here. Echinodorus Vesuvius, and then I'm assuming that's narrow leaf Ludwigia, or is that Rippins and
Rippins by Arcutata, right?
It's a cross. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. When you guys.
And the one next to it, this is Rippins by Arcutata. The one in the tank next to it is just Ludwigia Rippins. Notice how when it's at the top, it turns red.
Yeah.
Those are also in the lower tank because they're semi-native and they like cooler water. So normally the lower tanks are cooler. So they have a tendency year-round to do better in that tank.
The Ludwigia is like a little cooler?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
You wouldn't put them at 80 degrees. They probably wouldn't do very well. In here is Scyphia bilineata, or I think the new name is Neotoca bilineata, two-line Scyphia. They're a livebearer. They don't get any bigger than this.
Nice little assassin snail making a cameo for us.
Yep. And notice the shrimp that are in there with them.
Oh, I didn't even notice those.
They're eating Plico wafers right now.
You got Vesuvius coming out of your nose, man.
Well, some. The goal is to get it going a little bit better.
It's a finicky one, though. You got it.
It can be, yeah. Can be.
So it always like kind of grows for me, and then kind of cuts back, and then it'll grow, and it'll like spurts. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you noticed how it grows for you, but.
Yeah. And notice in here there is some algae in here, but the shrimp are keeping it plucked back, so it's not nearly as bad. That's
what are these? Just straight cherries, or?
Yeah, I think most of them are cherries. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, ask me how many of those I killed playing with potassium. Tons, man. I just genocide. But oh man,
this is
cool.
A tank of Amica splendens, the butterfly split fin or gadiid. Once it was thought to be extinct in the wild, so it's kind of what got a lot of the CARES project and the project in Mexico, the fish ark, things like that started to save a lot of the gadiids. It was since found again, but there were enough of them in the hobby. And the thing about the Amica is,
I love the yellow on that guy.
Notice, yes, on the tail. Notice that there's very little algae in here. They eat algae fairly readily, particularly a colony like this. And so they cleaned all the algae out. They're getting hungry, so they're actually going after some of my other plants. Now, the other thing about Amicas is they're a livebearer, but the fry that they have are almost 3/4 of an inch long. So some of these younger fry are just probably a day or two old.
Really? Oh, they come out pretty big, huh?
Oh yeah, very large, about 3/4 of an inch.
Wow. And I got to show this because I was told I can take some with me, and I'm going to take you up on that, man. That's a cool plant. What is that coming out of the top there?
That's the Willow Leaf that we looked at over there, the Hygrophila.
Oh, really? That's just going out. Augustifolia. I've never seen it growing above water like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've got an above the room tank I'm playing in. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't seen it go out like that.
And it's probably getting about ready to bloom.
Ah.
So it has a little purple bloom. Looks a little bit like a mint.
And what do we got in here? Is this Val down low?
That's the giant Val.
Ah. You like that photo I had last night of that guy?
Yeah, the same one, except I'm having trouble getting this one to go to the surface. The tank it came out of originally, it went to the surface. They were almost an inch wide. The leaves were 3 to 4 feet long. Put it in here, and for some reason it's spread out, but I just can't get it to go to the surface.
And what's this dark guy in here looking at me?
That's one of the big ugly bettas, they call them. That's a mouth-brooding betta.
Big ugly betta. He's
Betta.
good disposition though.
Betta ocellata, excuse me. Betta splendens is a normal betta.
And up top, you got is it Red Lotus, the
Yeah.
Zenriki? Nymphia Zenriki right there?
Most likely. I'm not for sure exactly which species.
Cool crypts too.
Cryptocrine pondentiflora flora in that particular pot. Some parva
Love it.
there.
That's a better looking parva than mine. Comes in a little paler than that. I don't know if it's grown above, probably because it's grown above water, but
could be
very cool.
And it has a spoon-shaped leaf on it.
Yeah, it does, grown above water. And then a valve tank.
That has got dirt in the bottom, which is one of the reasons that valve grows very well. But I have to harvest it out every month or so and sell it, because otherwise it just grows the tank shut.
Huh.
When I do, the tank gets black from the dirt that I pull up. That's one of the issues with a dirted tank, and that's a holding tank.
That's part of it.
It's there was some valve down there. There's now another Hygrophila salicifolia.
Oh, it's a different one.
Yeah, and this is Limia melanogaster, or the black-bellied Limia.
Okay. And then as we walk to the back here, oh, you've got one of my favorites. I love these guys. The
weather loach.
Yeah, love the personality on them.
Yeah.
And you got
my goal is to raise those till they're a little bigger, and then maybe put them outside and spawn them next year.
So I want to talk, because obviously a lot of tanks here. How do we do maintenance on this? Do you have a routine? What is your system like? Can we talk about like just general maintenance and then the filtration of this? I see airstone in all of your tanks. So give me kind of your philosophy on.
You don't see a lot